This video is going to show you how to utilize the graphing calculator to answer questions regarding quadratics. So first I'm going to show you how to graph this. I'll do 3, so I'll go to my y equals to graph, because it's y equals. I'll do 3x is up here, the squared button right here. You can also use the caret key and put a 2 in there. Then I'll do plus 4x minus, not negative, so minus 8. And I'm going to press graph so it'll show me the shape of the graph. So here's our parabola. We can see that it opens up. We have our vertexes down here, which is a minimum. We have our two x-intercepts. We also have a y-intercept. So what we want to be able to do is find the vertex, and we also want to find the x-intercepts. So the first one we're going to do is the vertex. You have to know if this is a minimum or a maximum. In this case, this is the lowest point on the graph, so it is a minimum. We want to calculate, since it's a graph, we know we're going to focus on these top buttons up here. We want to calculate the vertex using our calculator. So our calculate button is that blue calc above trace. So we're going to press second, and we're going to go to calc, which is trace. And we want to find the minimum. So we have value, 0, minimum, maximum, intersect, and these two go to calculus. This is the derivative, this is the integral. We're not going to focus on those in this course. So we want to know that our vertex is a minimum, so we want to go to minimum. So we're going to press number 3, or you can go down to where it says minimum and press enter. Either one works. So I'm just going to press the number 3, and it says left bound. So down here is telling us what we want to do with it. Making sure that this is our equation that we have written right here. It says left bound. So since we're finding the minimum, we want to be on the left side of our vertex. So right now, our cursor is blinking on that y-intercept. We want to press the left arrow key until it's on the left-hand side of our vertex. Now, it can be all the way over here, which is perfectly fine. It can be as close as possible to it. As long as it's on the left-hand side of our vertex, you are going to be fine. So I am on the left-hand side of our vertex. So as soon as I am left-bound question mark, if that's a yes, I can press enter. Now the question says right-bound. So now I want to press my right arrow key until I'm on the right-hand side of my vertex. And again, you can be very close to it. As long as you're on the right-hand side, you're fine. Or I can go all the way up here, and it does not matter as long as I'm on the right-hand side. So if I'm right-bound, question mark, yes, I press enter. So what it's doing is these two little arrows are trying to hone in on our vertex. So it's saying that the left-hand side is over here, the right-hand side is over here. Where is our minimum value? I don't want to guess, so it always asks guess question mark. I don't want to guess it. I want to know the actual answer. So I'll just press enter, and then it says it has a blinking at the vertex, and it says minimum, and that's how you know we've got our answer. There's no more questions. This is an answer. We're given the x value. It's a coordinate at negative 0.67, comma. The y value is at negative 9.33, and that is our vertex. So we can find the minimum using second, calculate, minimum, so number 3. Left bound, just go to the left of your vertex, press enter. Go to the right of your vertex, wherever it is, as long as you're on the right-hand side, press enter. And we never guess. We always just press enter on that guess question because we want it to tell it to us. And we know we're finished when it's no longer asking us questions. It says minimum, and it gives us an x and a y coordinate. That is our vertex. So in order to find, we also want to find the x-intercepts, which is where the graph crosses the x-axis. We would actually take our equation, and we know that x-intercepts are when the graph crosses the x-axis when y is equal to 0. So we'd actually have 3x squared plus 4x minus 8 equals 0. And this goes back to y equals the left, y equals the right. And so we can solve it. There are two ways to do this. If I go to second calc, I can find where it's the 0 value. We can do that. Or I can do y equals the left, y equals the right. So I have y equals the left already in there, and I can make my second one equal to 0. So I'll go down to y sub 2 equal it to 0. When I have that, I know I'm going to have my original blue parabola, but then I'm also going to have my red horizontal line. So I'll press graph. My blue parabola was still there. Red graph happened. So now I want to go and find the intersection of these the parabola and the red horizontal line. So as a previous video, I did second calculate because I want to calculate something. I want to find the intersection of those two lines or those two graphs. So the parabola and the line. So I'm going to press number 5. And I'm going to put my cursor over here at the first intersection. Whichever one, it does not matter which one you want to go to, but I do know I have 2 of them, so I just go to the one on the left first because that's going to be my smallest. So I press the left arrow key until I got to that. Now, first curve. My first curve is going to be the parabola. It is on the parabola. So the question is yes. I'm going to press enter. Second curve is supposed to be y equals 0, which is my second part of it. I say yes, so I'm going to press enter. Again, I never want to guess, so I'm just going to press enter. And it finally tells me intersection, which is our final answer because we know that it's no longer asking us a question. So our first x-intercept is at negative 2.43, 0. That's our first x-intercept. So now I can go find the other one by doing the same setup. So I want to calculate, so I do second calculate. And I want to find the intersection of them. It's just like y equals left, y equals right, and click on the x-intercept. So I'm going to press number 5. But again, I want to move my cursor to the other intersection. So I want to press the right arrow key until I get there, or as close as possible. Even if I'm right here, at least I'm closer to this x-intercept than I was on that one. So I can keep it here. This is perfectly fine. So my first curve, it asks, is it on the parabola? The answer is yes, so I can press enter. The second curve, is it on the y equals 0? The answer is yes, so I'm going to press enter. Again, I'm not going to guess, I just want to press enter. And as long as my cursor goes to that intersection, and it says intersection, I know I have it right. So my answer is going to be if I round that to the nearest hundredth, is 1.10, comma 0. Those are my 2 x-intercepts. So as a recap, if I do second calculate 5, I just want to make sure that my cursor is close to whichever intersection I want. So if I want to go back to the one on the left, I just press the left arrow key until I get closer to that one than I am the other one. So as long as I'm here, anywhere in the vicinity of it, as long as I'm closer to that left one than I am the right one, then I know that I'm in the right spot. So then I can press enter on the blue, I can press enter on the red, and I don't want to guess, I'm just going to press enter, and it gave me the exact same x-intercept from before. So second, trace, intersect, as long as I have y equals the left and y equals the right. That's why I put that y equals 0 in there so I can find the intersection. So that is how you find the vertex and the x-intercepts using your graphing calculator versus Desmos.